Good morning, St. Louis. It is 7 a.m. on a Tuesday morning. So, yeah, I know what time it is. It is time for the St. Louis Hustle Podcast with your boy Cortez Hustle and my girl, Michelle A. is not going to be joining us today. Y'all do me a favor and continue to pray for my co-host as she is going through some challenges with her dad is having some health issues. So she's going to be sitting this one out today. But today we're going to be talking about 7 ways for you to stay motivated to do the things you know you should be doing, but you just will not do or can't find or find it in yourself to do. So do me a huge favor, comment in the chat where you're from, drop the name of your business and or your brand, smash that share button, ladies and gentlemen, and let's kick it this morning.
Growing up in St. Louis has never been easy, and most say if you want to succeed here, that you must leave and put down roots somewhere else because of the strong crabs in a barrel mentality here.
I don't know if I'm just an optimistic person, but to see people like Chuck Berry and Nelly make it in the music industry, or the Roberts brothers and Dave Stewart in business, or William Lacey Clay Jr. in politics, can we blame the city, or is it that people just aren't hungry enough?
We're talking to all of the movers and shakers in this town, from entertainers to politicians, social activists and organizers, and of course, entrepreneurs.
Is there a curse on this city that holds people back? Is there an unseen hand that decides who makes it and who doesn't? You're about to find out.
Welcome to St. Louis Hustle.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the St. Louis Hustle Podcast. I am your boy Cortez Hustle, flying on solo dolo today. Again, we're going to keep lifting Michelle A. up in our prayers as her father is dealing with some health challenges. So she will hopefully be back next week as they are looking to get him into a good rehab facility. Today, we're talking, I apologize, some of you guys saw the flyer that said we was going to have U.S. Senate hopeful Coffee Wright on the show. She had some technical difficulties this morning and won't be joining us. But nevertheless, we're going to talk about 7 ways to stay motivated to do the things that you know you need to do, especially when you do not feel like doing them. So real quick, how was my weekend? I want y'all to comment in the chat, man. How was your weekend? We celebrated Independence weekend, and was yours as uneventful as mine? I'm gonna tell you, I didn't do a whole lot of nothing this holiday weekend, and that is exactly how I wanted it. Right? I wanted to chill, and literally, I sat back and I binge watched Yellowstone. Man, I don't know if you guys know about some of my dreams and ambitions. I don't know if I want 750,000 acres of land, but a good 1,000 acres. I think would be good for me and my family. So I watch those kinds of shows, and I imagine what it would be like if me and my family owned that kind of land and we were able to grow our own food and raise our own animals and build our own houses and all that kind of stuff, man. So that's kind of what I did all weekend long. Like literally, they had the marathon all 4 seasons as they're getting ready for season number 5, which will be airing, I think, in November. But that was my weekend, man. How was your weekend? Talk about it in the chat. Let me know what it is that you do. Did you do anything amazing? Did you go downtown and check out Fair St. Louis and any of that situation? I wanted to go down and check out fireworks at least this weekend, and I just couldn't get myself around to doing it, so wasn't able to do it. And it looks like we do have Senate hopeful Carla Coffee Wright with us this morning, so I'm excited about that. She was having some technical challenges, but she is here and in the building. So a couple quick announcements before we bring her out. Really, there's only one announcement. Those of you who know me know the show that is sponsored by the local biz marketing pros, and we're having a flash sale, and today is the last day. You can literally replace all of these tools for a one low monthly payment of $97 a month. Get your email marketing, your SMS text message marketing, unlimited sales funnels, your website builders, your dedicated business phone number, all the things that you need to build and run your business. You could literally replace all of these tools that I'm showing here on the screen for one low payment of $97 a month. Literally, guys, I paid almost $1,000 a month for all these different tools, and none of them even talk to each other. But we have an all-in-one home-based business marketing solution that includes all of these tools in one place. So make sure you guys go and check that out over at blackbizsuccess.com. Michelle normally does her word of the day, and she's not with us today, but I have a word for you today before we bring on Miss Coffee Wright. The word of the day today is obsessed. It is obsessed. That word has gotten a bad rap here lately. No one seems to understand the power of being obsessed about a passion, being obsessed about a gift, being obsessed about a business, an opportunity, obsessed about your community, so much so that you would want to run for office to make some changes. But I thought about this, bringing this word to you guys as I was working out this morning. But then when I pulled up Facebook, tell you how the universe works and brings everything together. I pulled up my Facebook feed today to see what was going on. And this post showed up from Entrepreneur Mindset. And it says, never apologize for being obsessed. Stay in the gym for 2 hours, pull an all-nighter working on your side hustle, read your new book the entire day, right? Positive obsession is a gift, not a behavior to be suppressed. If you are, ladies and gentlemen, obsessed about a thing, don't let someone make you feel guilty about that, right? I also heard this morning someone say along the same lines, because you guys know as I work out, I'm listening to positive stuff in my headset. And one of the quotes said, protect your hunger, right? See, when you're obsessed, you're hungry, right? You are madly obsessed with the result or the outcome, and you're hungry and you want to go to another level. And sometimes people who don't understand that obsession, people who do not have a similar hunger, they will literally tell you that you're too hungry. They will literally tell you that you are too obsessed. You have to know how to protect and guard your hunger in the same way that it is equally important to protect and guard your peace, right? You got to protect your hunger too, your ambition, your drive. You got to protect those things, because we live in a society that celebrates mediocrity, celebrates average. And those who don't want a whole lot out of life will try to talk you out of wanting more out of life too. So be careful with that. And that is the Michelle A. word of the day right here on the St. Louis Hustle Podcast, brought to you by Local Biz Marketing Pros. Don't forget, if you need a business marketing system that includes sales, that includes marketing, go to blackbizsuccess.com. Literally save $100 a month by taking advantage of our special promotion. So I want to bring our special guest on to talk politics, local and state politics here in the St. Louis metro area. Miss Coffee, if you give me a thumbs up if you're ready, then we can bring you on the screen here. So let me know when you're ready, because I'm excited to bring you on.
Thank you. I am ready. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. All right. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Carla Coffee Wright is running for U.S. State Senator right here in the beautiful state of Missouri. So good morning, Coffee. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning. I am well. Thank you. Actually, I'm running for United States Senate, and there's a difference. A lot of times we think of I mean, it's kind of confusing with the senates, because you have the state senates and then you have the United States senators.
Right.
So this would be actually the United States senators. And I just wanted to clarify that, because there are other people as running for United States Senate as well. And I didn't want to get the two confused. But thank you so much for having me. Wow, I'm excited to be here. And
Awesome.
yes, and you know, I like the way you just put that as far as having a hunger, having an obsession for
Mm-hmm.
your passion.
Yeah.
And it you know, it applies to me as well because I have a hunger, I have an obsession for justice. I have a hunger and an obsession every time I see the poor people and the working people and small business people are being left out or being walked over by the rich and the billionaire that are running this country. That upsets me. I have an obsession to include us.
Mm-hmm.
I have an obsession that to make proportionate political representation in this political system because there are 100 United States senators and not one Black female. I have an
Mm.
obsession that they have to make that more diversified. There are only 3 Black men. 71 white men are making the laws and policies that affect our life every day. 21 white women, two Asians and one Latino. Sitting at this table, sir, 100 people, and we do not have not one Black female sitting at that table. That's a problem. That is a major problem when we are 15% of the population of the United States. Then we should be
Yeah.
holding 15% of the positions, and we're not. We're only holding less than 3% of the elected positions. So I have a problem with that, family. And I think everyone should have a problem with that. Not only every Black person, but every person in America that really wants to be fair. If you
Mm-hmm.
want to be fair, if you want America to heal, if you want to do right by all people, then it should be proportionate political representation because it's no way in the world can billionaires and millionaires represent the masses of the people
Right.
because they are
Right.
not the masses
I
of the
love that
people.
passion. I love that fire. So let's take it back. Let's go back. I ask everybody who comes on the St. Louis Hustle podcast this one question, and I'm gonna ask it to you as well. And the question is this: who the heck are you?
Well, I'll tell you, I'm Coffee Wright. On the ballot, Carla Coffee Wright, but most people know me as Coffee. I'm just Coffee. But I'm an activist. I'm an advocate. I'm a mother. I'm a grandmother. I have a degree in early childhood education. I've directed daycare centers. I hold the highest
Uh-oh, Carla, it looks like you are frozen. I'm gonna ask you if you can jump off screen and come back. Looks
certification
like
in the
you
state of Missouri to direct the unlimited amount of children in the daycare. That's 99 children or more. I'm in my previous years, I've been an insurance agent. I'm a union member for 34 years.
Yeah, it looks like
And
you
I
have a bad connection, Coffee. Is it looks yeah, it looks like she had a bad connection. We're gonna see if we can't get her back on. But she talked some real serious things. When you think about what the Congress should be, it is a representation of the makeup of America. And not to have enough representation is very powerful. And I'll give you this analogy because I saw this Instagram reel yesterday where a black nurse was talking about the importance of our representation, the importance of us being present and in the room. So it's a funny story, but it illustrates the point better than almost anything I've ever heard of when it comes to having representation in the room. But I added a little bit to it and said not just having representation in the room, but having strong representation in the room that's willing to speak up. So this young lady is a nurse. She said she was coming into her morning nurse shift, and the evening nurse was leaving. And as they transition, the morning nurse and the evening nurse, they have to kind of compare notes a little bit, right? So she's coming in, and the evening nurse is leaving, and the evening nurse says, "I had to put a psychic evaluation on the report for this patient because every time I came into the room, she's she's hitting herself upside the head." So the nurse coming on was like, "Okay, is she a black lady?" And then she was like, "Yes." And she said, "Was she patting her head, hitting her head like this?" And she said, "Yes." And she said, "Well, let me help you understand something. If she's a black lady and she's hitting her head like this repeatedly, chances are she has some sort of hair weave, or maybe she has a wig and she can't get to her scalp. And the way that she scratches her scalp is by patting her head. So because there wasn't representation in the room, the misunderstanding of what was taking place was about to have this patient evaluated for a psychiatric issue when she just was trying to scratch her head, right? So it's interesting that Coffee talked about not having enough representation in the room, and that is male and female, black, white, and all of the other cultures that are represented in this country should be at the table where the decisions are being made about all of us, right? Some of us shouldn't be making decisions for that affect all of us. So I think we got Miss Coffee back. Let's see if we got a better connection. All right, let's see. Give me a mic check, Miss Coffee. See if I can hear you okay.
Hello, family. Thank you for having me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. That's a little bit better. So we were talking about who the heck you are, and you were going into some of what makes you who you are. So if you can kind of dial back a little bit and kind of bring us back up to speed, because you kind of broke up a little bit. And I want people to get a clear picture of who you are, because that's one of the problems. Like, we not only are we not represented, the people who are supposed to be representing us, we don't know those people. We don't know who they are because they don't come to our communities and talk to us about who they are, what they're passionate about, and what their agenda is when they go to Washington to speak on our behalf. So get back into who you are as an individual, and then we'll get to some of your campaign strategies and what you hope to do when you're elected.
Okay, well, yes, again, who I am. I am a mother. I'm a grandmother. I'm an activist. Not only an activist, but I'm an advocate for the seniors, for the missing, for the homeless. I fight hard for any type of injustice. Mostly everyone is definitely familiar with me throughout the St. Louis area, city and county, as well as Kansas City. Um, I hold a degree in early childhood education, as well as a director. I've directed daycare center and facilities, as well as hold the highest certification in the state of Missouri in daycare, where I can direct a center of unlimited amount of children, 99 and more. I was a licensed insurance agent, president club, and I've done a lot of things during my life. I'm 34 years union strong and still pushing. But the most things that are passion to me, I've never stopped doing, and that's fighting for the people, fighting for all people, the poor people, the working people, no matter what nationality you are. I'm out there fighting for you. We are sick and tired of the millionaires and billionaires running this country, making decisions for the rest of us, for the other 97% of us. That is ridiculous. A millionaire and a billionaire cannot be my voice, cannot sit at the table and speak for me, because they have rich people problems. We have poor people problems. We have working people problems. And it's no way that we're going to continue to keep electing these people in who has been running this country behind the scene or up front. whether, and so right now, they have went so far to throw in, and I'm not throwing mud, I'm speaking truth to power. They have put in the KKK Bell Prophet Parade Queen of 1977. They had to dig that far back and go dig up the Queen of the Bell Prophet Parade, put in a white woman to run against me. I ran in 2018 against Josh Hawley and Claire McCaskill. It was 23 of us total in the race. I came in second place on a Democrat ballot, got over 41,000 votes. Claire McCaskill beat me and Josh Hawley beat her. But that's the type of stuff we get, is some Josh Hawley stuff if we don't get out and vote. If we continue to keep letting people in to represent us that really don't represent us, family. And so that's who I am, and I've been fighting for decades. I go back as far as Rodney King.
I love it. I love it. Talk about where that
and moving
passion
forward,
came
Mike
from.
Brown, and continue.
Yeah.
I've never
Yeah. And is that something that
from
as
being
a kid
tired
coming
of being
up?
sick and tired, sir, from what I've been exactly. I mean, even as a child, I didn't like injustice. I didn't like bullies. I always had to stand up for myself. I had to stand up for other people. I'm brown skinned. My complexion is dark, and when I even I went to public schools, but even when my mom moved us in the county, and we went to predominantly white schools, and when I say predominantly white, I'm saying only 5 Black people in the entire school, and 2 of them was my sister and myself. And my sister, as African Americans, we come in all different complexions. Okay. And so my mom is what they call high yellow. My sister is what they call high yellow, and so forth. So my sister and I at school, and the bully says, who's really the typical bully that you see stereotyped on television, little fat white boy. He's taking everybody's lunch. Well, the white kids, they like me, and everybody liked me. And so, but since I was the darkest one in the school, you know what their response was? Coffee, why don't you beat him up? You're Black, you're bad, you're tough. So see, the thing is that we have so many misconceptions about people up, which are physically beat up that bully, but because I stood up to him, and I'm not scared. We're not going to be bullied by these millionaires and billionaires. The media is a bully, and I thank you so much for allowing me to come on your show, because the media is actually trying to ignore as though anybody Black in the race don't exist, including me. I'm the only person that ran for this position, period, for United States Senator, and I had 41,721 votes. So therefore, they really are trying to exclude me. All they're talking about is a white boy, and I won't even say his name. He doesn't even live in Missouri. He lives in D.C. in $1 million house, and he brags on how many millions of dollars his campaign has. And then they speak of the white lady who has the television commercials. And since we're not on TV, people don't understand. It costs money to be on television. It costs money for those commercials. Then ask yourself, why haven't you donated to the campaign? And so therefore, the best we can do is all we can do. And we're out here every city. I have a team in St. Louis. I have a team in Columbia. And we circle this whole state of Missouri. I haven't missed a beat. I've been in the small towns. Yesterday, people were celebrating the 4th of July. Hey, that was fine. I did a 4th of July parade, over 33,000 people there, but I wasn't waving from the car and blowing kisses. I was out there walking, talking to people, letting everybody know you have a dog in the race, and I'm no poodle. But I also hit all the Juneteenth parade, because America has 2 days of freedom, and we have to be clear on that. Not just the 4th of July, but Juneteenth as well. And speaking of that, my organization is one of the organizations that made Juneteenth a national holiday. And I've been fighting for Juneteenth to be a national holiday for over 20 years. And that's on record. As a matter of fact, it's on record that I did St. Louis's first Juneteenth parade and celebration, as well as wrote the Juneteenth national anthem, and so forth. And also, I'm a part of Resolution 20, St. Louis Board of Aldermen Resolution 20, and I'm the make Juneteenth a paid holiday, even before it became a national holiday, and that was in 2020. But as far as this Senate race, as I'm saying, we have perpetrators in there that claim, oh, now all of a sudden they want to represent all the people. How are you going to represent all the people when you were the beauty queen, a member of an organization representing the face? You're the poster child for the KKK. And they hate, not dislike, but have a hatred, a known hatred for centuries of Black people, a known hatred for Jewish people, a known hatred for gay people. But yet, that's the face that we see when we turn on our television. And that's not right. So I'm out here every day, been out here every day. I mean, 7 days a week, we take no break. After the parade yesterday of walking miles in that parade, I went to apartment complexes, myself and my team, and we just 2 of us per complex, and we hit 200 doors out in St. Charles. From there, we hit the parking lot. After that, that wasn't enough. People were saying, well, look, let's go home. And I said, well, go home if you want to. But guess what? Giving Wentzville the attention that Wentzville deserved. On my travels back and forth from Wentzville and St. Louis, I mean, Kansas City to St. Louis, I'm passing right by Wentzville, but I couldn't stop because either we're running late, we don't want to be late for engagements, or the hour of the day is not right. It may be 2 a.m. So, but we're out here. We're not overlooking anyone. If we haven't got to your city, please stay on alert. Keep your head on swivel, because guess what? We're coming to the smallest. Today I'm headed up to sites in Missouri and all that surrounding area, the Boot Hill. Last week,
Yeah, look like
are
we
we
lost you a
frozen? Are we
little
frozen
bit
again? Can you hear me?
there. I think you're back now.
Okay, can you hear me, family?
Good. So I can hear you now. Can you hear me okay? I think
Yes,
there's a
I don't know
delay.
where we
I think
cut
there's a
out.
delay also. Yeah. So what I want you to do is so with the missing representation, that's one thing. So talk about how you intend to represent if you're elected. What are some of the biggest challenges that we are facing that can be rectified through the Senate that will have a direct impact on the working class and the poor and the minority communities?
Family, we're dealing with a lot of issues right now. One of the main issues that I would like to see is free medical care for everyone. I don't think your life being saved should depend on your income. It should depend on your age, your sex, or your race. Only the rich seem to be getting the cures, whether it's to COVID, whether it's to cancer, whether it's to diabetes, whether it's a kidney transplant, or whatever. That should not be, family. We should not have to juggle, and especially our seniors. That's ridiculous, because without them, it's no seniors, no us. Without my grandmother, it wouldn't be my mama. And without my mom, it wouldn't be me. And we're overlooking our veterans. My daddy was a Vietnam vet that became disabled and came back and had the result of living on the streets for years, for decades, before we could even get reunited with my dad. That's ridiculous. That should never happen in the United States. Another big issue that we're dealing with, family, we're dealing with not only health care, but we're dealing with, they're trying to take our voting rights. If they take our voting rights, we can forget it. They're trying to push us back over 50 years. They're trying to push us back when our ancestors has fought, has bled, has died, has went to jail, and they had to even pay for the right to vote. And we're going to sit on our butts and let them take our voting rights. I'd be darned if we don't pull that John Lewis bill off the shelf. We have to pull it off the shelf, and we have to put that on the Senate desk, put it on the table, and say, this is what we're voting on, because they're ignoring it.
Wow.
They're not saying let's vote on that. John Lewis died, they let the bill die with him. But we're not going to let the law die with him. Two law that can be put in, can be made. We have to create a bill for that and make it a sensible bill. And then that can be something that can be voted on. Let the people vote. Let the people decide. We don't need penis power. We don't need 71 white men telling us what we should do and when we should do it. We don't need 21 white women. America is not 71% white males and 21% white women. America is a rainbow. So everyone should have their fair representation. As simple as that. Whether you're Asian, Latino, Indian, whatever nationality you are, you should have fair representation. And that's why I, Carla Coffee Wright, would love and need and appreciate your vote on, depending on the poor people and the working people are so frustrated that they think we're not going to come out and vote. And if we do vote, they think we're the Anheuser-Busch daughter, Trudy Bush. We don't need Coons because he's not a resident of Missouri. He haven't voted in Missouri. He doesn't have any in D.C. So he think he can come to Missouri and think we some old hickey, old dumb people, and I'll just take care of, I'll just trick these people. It's a handful of them, pry on our hearts, because Missourians, we know the show me state. So he thinks he's going to come and show us and show out, but not here, family. We're not missing a beat. We're not missing a beat, and we need your support. As simple as that. I need your support. I need everybody that's listening to this call to call the campaign office. I need you to just let your neighbors know that we exist. Call us and come and get some yard signs, and let everybody in your family call all your contacts in your cell phone and let them know that we need you to get up and show out and vote for Carla Coffee Wright. It's not hard to remember Coffee, family. Vote for Coffee. That's how it's listed on the ballot. And we're going to win this. We're going to defeat them.
I love it. I love it. You also talked about your passion for economic empowerment and some of the small businesses not being looked after and caring for. And that's a huge passion of mine as a small business owner myself, and understanding that that's the foundation of our economy as a small business owners. And one of the things that we have historically had challenges with is access to capital to grow and scale our businesses, especially as Black and brown people, to be able to hire more of our people and provide jobs. What are some of the things that you could see you and your team and working with other senators and Congress some things you can improve to make it easier for entrepreneurs to get access to the resources that they say are available? They say St. Louis is the best place resource-wise for an entrepreneur to be, but I don't know where all these resources are that they keep talking about.
Absolutely. America cry, oh, we don't have any money. First of all, America is foundation, our small businesses, and so we have resources. We sent the 700 million, and then we sent the 20 million, and then just sent some more money. When will it stop? We can't cry with spilled milk, but hey, we have to take care of home. Small businesses must thrive. I have a small business myself. I also have a COVID testing business, family, and where I do free COVID testing, train over 28 people to do their own COVID testing. And it's the mouth swabs, family, the PCR, the most accurate test. But again, small businesses are being overlooked. There's money there. So we have to either create a bill and make it a law, or and settle for nothing less. We have to pour money out of other areas and put it into where the people are, where it's really needed. Because too many, not only small businesses, but our schools are overlooked. And if we can't educate our children, then where is America going? As a matter of fact, I'm for totally eliminating student loan debt. It's on my literature, and I stand. And poor people still, but they put all that out of the realm. I'm for eliminating medical debt. It's no way people should still end up. If I have to stand on top of the table, and that's who I am. That's who Coffee Wright is.
Love it. I love it. So we talked about, the lack of representation and solving that, and your presence. It sounds like you're a disruptor, and you're going to not only be in the room, but be heard when you're in the room and represent the people that you are there to represent. We talked about some of the resources not going to the right places, including the schools. One of the things that has always troubled me, I live in North County now, but I remember as a kid driving by or riding my bike by the city signs. Like they used to have one right there in Pound Line as you are leaving from Pound Line going into the city, and it would say the amount of the population of St. Louis. And I remember it was over 500,000 at that time, now down to around 300,000. What can we do to bring folks back into the city and start rebuilding the community and really making St. Louis, one of those destination cities where businesses want to come here and, people want to move here and live here? What are some of those things that can be done from a political and legislative standpoint? No, I can't hear you at all now. So I think you're completely frozen now. All right, we'll see if we can get Miss Coffee back one last time. But man, there's a lot going on, and when you send these representatives to Washington to represent your state, they have to know the whole state, right? They can't just go and represent certain people within the state. And it sounds like Coffee is doing her best to get to know all of the citizens of the state of Missouri so that all are represented, not just the upper echelon, not just the wealthy and well off, but the working poor and the poor, the middle class, because we often basically have to function with whatever we get in terms of there's nobody really fighting and advocating for us. There are usually people just saying, hey, this is what's good for everybody, but not with specific intentions to create laws, legislations that will impact us. I certainly would love to see where all the resources are for small local businesses. Y'all know that is my passion. I want to see small local businesses win. And when I saw that article that says St. Louis is the best place for small business owners to be from a resource standpoint, either I have to just do a better job of finding these resources, or they have to do a better job of promoting where to get access to these resources. Something has to happen because I've never seen it that way. So we got Coffee back one more time, and hopefully we can get a clear connection this time. So Coffee, I was asking about the fact that when I was a kid, I would go into the city, and I remember they had a population sign for St. Louis City right in Pound Line as you leave Pound Line going into the city on Natural Bridge. And at that time, I remember it used to be 500,000 people in St. Louis. Now it's right around 300,000 people. What is the city doing to bring people back to the city, if at all? And is there something that can be done from a legislative standpoint and a political standpoint to bring people back to the city to help build and make it a destination place for that other people would want to come to? Even people who are in Missouri should want to move to St. Louis, and of course, people out of state. Is there anything being done on those fronts?
Well, we have a new mayor now, as they say, a new sheriff in town. She's been in office for a little over a year now. And so St. Louis has a lot of money for reconstruction, to bring up small businesses, a lot of money to do a lot of things with. So we're hopeful that she's going to change St. Louis around and bring it up. I grew up in the city of St. Louis, and when I grew up in the city of St. Louis, everything was about privately owned, black owned. In your community, we had a black owned gas station on Lee and Clarence. We had black owned shoe stores, Yellow Ball over a Natural Bridge, black owned record stores, black owned cleaners and laundromats, black owned corner confectionaries, black owned restaurants. And everybody, things were owned, small businesses were thriving. So we're looking forward to small businesses thriving. I have no control over the monies in the city of St. Louis and how it's handled, but it's a doggone shame that we have reduced our population tremendously and people are leaving, and that's not good for any city. So hopefully that we do, the mayor does decide to spend that money in a way. She has plans, and I haven't heard all her plans, but I'm hopeful that she's going to start the process to turn this around. She's vowed to put money on the north side of St. Louis, which is an area that has been tremendously ignored for decades. And we're looking forward to that happening. So that's what's going on in the city of St. Louis. I think if we put some better laws in effect, then maybe people will feel more comfortable as well. And that's things such as the George Floyd bill. When we have so much crime, all we hear about is crime in the city. As a matter of fact, unfortunately, I was on the news. The media did cover me Saturday, but that was in a bad situation. That was nothing to be proud of. That was a young lady and a young man murdered up the street from my house in broad daylight on July 2nd. So Channel 4 was glad to cover for that. And so the thing is that we hear about all these murders in a broad, all day, every day long, every day. One of the standbyers asked the reporter, do you see this every week? He said, no, I see it every day. And wow. That was the response of the police. And so we talk about the police, but I saw 13 police cars, and out of 13 police cars, I saw and then more emergency vehicles. I see all white people, and I have nothing against white people, but when you have all white police officers, and I won't say in a 90% or 100% black area, that's not a good look, because it makes us feel that white people are in authority. When we have a lot of crime, we don't want to just be known for crime,
right.
And we don't want white people to feel like we're just the bad criminals, because these white police officers don't know us. They don't have a relationship with 5 people in their community, and so it gives them a bad taste in their mouth about black people overall, I would think. And it gives us a bad taste about them when the only time we see them is after the scene of a crime. I haven't known any police officer, and I know some, I haven't known them to solve any crimes. They don't come to prevent any crimes. They come after the scene of the crime. And I stayed there till the last body was put in the coroner's truck. And I didn't see not one officer or detective asking questions. Were there any witnesses? I didn't see it. They sure didn't come to me. The only person approached me was the news, and they didn't even know who I was, because I had on T-shirts and some jeans.
Yeah.
A tank top and some stretch pants. So the thing is that my point is, make St. Louis attractive, and maybe you attract people. Otherwise, people are leaving by the truckloads, and that's not good. Right. So we need to change the George Floyd bill. If I get in Senate, I can put that George Floyd bill on the table. And what does that do? that holds police accountable, because dead is dead. And if anyone kills anyone, whether you're a police officer or a regular citizen, you need to be held accountable. That needs to be investigated. Is that fair? I mean, that sounds fair to me. I don't see where police should be able to kill unarmed people and they get the opportunity to investigate themselves. That we know what the solution gonna come up with if you the one investigating yourself. So when we see this type of stuff every day, we don't have a lot of faith in the system. I hope you can hear me. Okay, family, I'm traveling. Okay, I poured over, but I'm actually traveling, so I apologize for any breaks.
Yeah. Tell everybody real quick before you go, how can they support you?
Interview, but it's so important to me. I had to do it, and I appreciate it. You can go to my website at coffeewrightUSsenate.com. That's Coffee Wright, coffee just like the beverage, COFFEEWRIGHT, Coffee Wright USSenate.com. Or you can please call anytime, 314-461-8187. 314-461-8187. Call 24 hours, family. I need you, and I hope you feel that you need me to be your voice in the United States Senate. I need your vote, family. I need your support. I need you to share and spread the word, family. Share this video to all your family and friends. Share this show, because they need to hear what's really going on. And family, I ain't scared, because we all matter. Believe that you matter. You have to believe that you matter, because I know you matter, and I know I matter.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So that's going to do it for us, Miss Coffee. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your travels to come and, introduce yourself and really speak to, like you said, truth to power, and help people understand that they not only need a representation, they need strong representation that's willing to stand up and fight and say what needs to be said. We've sent people to Washington before, make no mistake about it. But if you send the wrong person, and that person is going to be rolled over, that person is going to see these bills come, and they're just going to vote with everybody else and not stand up and say, hey, this is not going to be good for the constituents that I represent. Because a lot of times, and you don't strike me as this type of person, a lot of times we sending people to Washington and they have other agendas for their political career, so they don't want to do certain things that could jeopardize that.
Can I say this? First of all, I'm not a politician, family. I'm not a politician. Let's be clear on that. I'm a regular, everyday, hardworking person, small business owner who's willing to do the job. So don't get it twisted by no means, and never hold against one person that's willing to step up, spend their own money, sacrifice their own time, and sacrifice their life to fight for you. Because I definitely get the death threats, and this campaign is coming out of my pocket. It's no and my team's pocket, and the people that give any type of donations, and we don't get billions of dollars. We have turned down money time after time. We won't roll. We're not rocking with the NRA. We can get millions of dollars donated to our campaign and have the TV commercials, but we're for gun reform as well, family. Should you be able to have a gun? Yes, you should, to protect your house and your family. But should an 18-year-old get to go out and purchase a gun and shoot up his grandmama because she pissed him off? Hell no, family. And so I have no reason. And let me tell you something else. One thing we have to remember is there's a situation and there's a system called recall. When people don't do what they say they're going to do, then you recall they bad butt. If you feel I don't do what I say I'm going to do, then you recall me. We don't need seat warmers. They have heaters for that, okay? We need somebody to get the job done and within the time frame that we've given, okay? That we've given them. We don't have to wait till the term is over either. If we don't like the direction it's going, get their bad butt out, because we don't have time to waste. But I will tell you this, out of thousands of United States senators, Missouri has never, ever, ever had a Black United States senator, male or female. There has only been in the history of 11 Black United States senators in this whole country. That's all I'm saying. And so, family, you have to trust in somebody. Somebody's going to win that seat. So we can keep going with the same old billionaires and millionaires, or we can try something different and expect a different result. Because at the end of the day, and the bottom line is, we're all headed up the same creek. We just in a different boat. I don't care what nationality you are. We are all headed up the same creek, just in different boats, family. And that's what I stand on. So this racist country, and I will say it again, this racist country has excluded the poor people, the working people away, and Black people and minorities. And we know it, and we got to call a spade a spade. 50 governors, sir. How many are Black? Out of 50 governors, one for each state. Not one, family. I'll give you the answer to that quiz. Not one Black governor. 100 United States senators. How many are Black? Only 3. And there should be 15. And again, not one Black woman. So I'm asking you to put me in that office, put me in that seat, because I'm not scared of them, and I will represent all people, family. All people.
Love it.
Because that's what I've been doing all along, fighting for everybody. I have white constituents as well, and white people that I've been fighting for as well. So don't think you're going to be left out. You already got 71 white men representing you. They're not satisfying you. That's why you're coming back to the polls. You got 21 white women. They're not satisfying you. That's why you're coming back to the polls. I'm Coffee Wright, family, and thank you so much for this time.
You are so welcome, Coffee. We're glad to have you. So that's going to do it for us here on the St. Louis Social Podcast. The phone number to call, Coffee Wright Campaign Office, 314-461-8187. Anytime, 24/7, ladies and gentlemen. Go to the website, make a financial contribution. It costs money to run campaigns. CoffeeWrightUSSenate.com is the website. Again, thank you so much. Until we talk to you next time, I want you to get your money up, because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve to do it, each and every single one of you. Now hustle up.